Hello and namaste to all of you. This is Jayvin Chalu Singh from Department of Physiotherapy and Diagnosis from Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University. So for today's topic, I'll be talking with you all about basal metabolic rate. What basically is basal metabolic rate? So basal metabolic rate is the energy required by an awake individual during physical, emotional, and digestive rest, and it is the minimum amount of energy required to maintain life or sustain vital functions like the working of heart, circulation, brain function, respiration, etc. Now, the metabolic rate during sleep is less than BMR. Now, what is resting metabolic rate? So, the resting metabolic rate is the measure of energy required to maintain life or vital functions. Now, if the subject is awake and non-fasting, this condition would be your resting metabolic rate, and it is approximately about 3% higher than your basal metabolic rate. Now, BMR is measured directly by the heat evolved or indirectly by the volume of oxygen consumed and carbon dioxide evolved per unit time. So, by the means of heat evolved, it is measured by your bomb calorimeter, and there are various other methods and techniques for the measurement of BMR. So, few of them I'll discuss with you just now. The first procedure is your Atwater Benedict Roth basal metabolism apparatus. So, this is basically a closed circuit method, and the person is asked to stay awake but at physical and mental rest. So, person would be sitting uh, without doing anything or without doing any physical performing any physical activity at rest, and he or she would have to be awake. Now the temperature of the surroundings should be comfortable that to the body, that is for about 25 degrees Celsius, and the subject breathes in oxygen from a metal cylinder. Now the carbon dioxide that is produced is transferred to your soda lime, and it is absorbed by the soda lime, and the subject is asked to breathe through the mouthpiece for at least 6 minutes. Now the oxygen in the utilization from the cylinder is measured, and the carbon dioxide absorbed in the soda lime is measured. Now the volume, both the volumes are recorded. Now, how do we basically calculate BMR? Is that BMR is calculated from oxygen consumption, calorific value, and surface area. So uh, let's assume that oxygen consumed in 6 minutes was Y liters. Now it is shown that calorific value of oxygen is 4.8. So it is like when 1 liter of oxygen is utilized, so 4.8 kilocalories are generated. So therefore the heat produced in 6 minutes is 4.8 into Y. So from this you can calculate heat produced in 24 hours. So mathematically it will be 4.8 Y into 10 into 24 kilocalories. So this was one of the methods. Second method is your indirect calorimeter. So when deuterium or oxygen labeled water is given, and these isotopes are eliminated at different rates. So deuterium is eliminated only as water, while oxygen is eliminated as carbon dioxide, and as carbon dioxide as well as water. So the difference between two elimination rates is therefore measure of carbon dioxide production. Now the double labeled water method that is the Nathan-Lipson method. It provides a measure of total carbon dioxide production for over 2 to 3 weeks. Now, this method is useful to measure alterations in energy requirements during growth, pregnancy, and in lactation, etc. So, as I told you that there are various factors which affect BMR. So, one of the most important factor which affects BMR is your age. Now, during the period of active growth, BMR is high and it reaches maximum by 5 years of age. Now, in old age, BMR is lowered due to less activities, obviously, and where as in children in growing age, due to more energy requirement, BMR level is, and due to active body growth, the energy requirement of body is more, so BMR is usually high. Second factor which affects BMR is your sex, whether the person is male or a female. So males, due to high level of muscle mass and high workload and due to high energy requirement, they have higher BMR than your females. And third factor is your temperature. So BMR, it increases in cold climate as compensatory mechanism to maintain the body temperature. So during cold, your body produces heat in order to maintain the body temperature. So I've told you, like when there is heat evolved, there is more of heat evolved. So there is more of energy production. So BMR increases in cold temperature and in order to compensate your body temperature. And Eskimos, the who stay in cold environment, basically icy places, they have higher BMR. Now the next factor is your exercise. So the exercise, so the increase in BMR during exercise is due to increase in cardiac output. So starvation will lower your BMR, and during workout, your BMR levels will be higher. Now, next factor which affects BMR is your fever. So, for about 12% increase in BMR is noticed per degree centigrade rise in your temperature. So, during fever, as the body temperature rises, the BMR also rises. So, for uh, 1 degree centigrade rise in temperature, 12% BMR will increase. So if a question is asked, so you can calculate your BMR based on that. Now, other hormones that affect BMR. So one of the most important hormone that is affecting your BMR is your thyroid hormone. So since thyroid hormones, they have a general stimulant effect on the rate of metabolism and heat production. So BMR is raised in hyperthyroidism and lowered in your hypothyroidism. So all other factors, that is they are from like age, sex, temperature, exercise, fever. So these factors are taken into account in when you write the definition of BMR. So thyroid function, it determines the change in BMR. Now, what are the normal values of BMR? See, since BMR is affected by body surface area, so it is usually expressed in kilocalories per hour per square meter of body surface, and body surface area is calculated include using the formula, so which was given by Eugene Du Bois and Delafield Du Bois in 1915. So the surface area, it will be calculated as A is equal to W, which is weight in kilograms, raised to the power of 0.425 into H, where H is your height, in raised to the power of 0.725 into 71.84. Okay. Now A was your area, W was your weight, and H was your height in centimeters. And now nomograms showing body surface area from weight and height, they're also available. So the BMR is then calculated from the value of oxygen consumption, calorific value, and surface area. So nomograms showing body surface area from height and weight are also available. And for adult men, the normal value of BMR is 34 to 37 kilocalories per meter square per hour. So these are the values which need to be remembered, that for men, BMR will be 34 to 37 kilocalories. For women, it is 30 to 35 kilocalories per meter square per hour. So I've already earlier told you that for women, BMR is low, is quite low than BMR of men. So for men, it was 34 to 37. For women, it's 30 to 35. Now, to make your calculations easier, BMR for an adult is fixed as 24 kilocalories per kg. So approximation value which is fixed is as an average is 24 kilocalorie per kg of body weight per day. Now the values thus obtained are rounded to the nearest whole number. So the round of value is taken and it will be taken as 24. So that was all about BMR. And in next sections, I'll be dealing with SDA, which is your specific dynamic action. So if you have any doubts regarding BMR, you can contact me. And until then, take care and bye bye.